Welcome to the Engine Oil Analysis channel. Today we're going to do a test on the engine oil in this engine. I think my last test I did was January 7th. The oil had been in there, I think roughly 1, 2, 3, about 3 or 4 months. So the oil has been in here. Today is March the 5th. The oil has been in there about 4 or 5 months. As you know, I changed the oil from an SAE 5W30. Originally, I've always used the Mobil 1 5W, the 0W40, a thicker grade. And then I tried a 5W30 and I found my oil went really low really fast. Within 4 months there was no oil in. The gauge wouldn't, the dipstick wouldn't touch the oil, so I couldn't even test the oil then. So I had to mix it with an SAE 50 monograde oil. And it ran for a few more months after that before it failed. Not very long. So I introduced this 100% synthetic Motul 8100X power SAE 10 W60. You can see that over there, and it's been in this engine now for about I'd say about 5 or 6 months, 4, 5 or 6 months. I'll put in the real proper details in the video, but it's along those lines when I did the video, I think. So for our first test, we're going to make sure that there's actually oil. The dipstick can actually see the oil. I mean, oil's been in there 4, 5 or 6 months, and I want to make sure that this oil hasn't gone down like the SE 5W30. I think the last time I tested the oil in here, can't remember what the results are, but I think it was still a number 1 if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. But oil's been in there now quite a long time. It's done on average 6 to 8 hours a day. So our first test is to see if the oil actually is visible on the dipstick. So I'll do that now. I have to open up the dipstick. And let's see if I get any oil out. Oh yes, I do. So let's have a look. The oil has not gone down, as you can see. You can see the oil is all up to the top, more or less. You can see the reflection, so the oil hasn't gone down at all. So what we need now is to get enough oil from the oil in the engine and put it in our sample. So let's take it out, put in some more drops of oil. I'm leaning over quite a lot because I want to make sure when I put the stick back I don't pick up any, I don't get it touching the sides where I might dirty the stick. And I have to screw it back in, this dipstick, and then I screw it back out, unscrew it. I think one more should be okay. Oh la la. I think that should be good enough. So let's close up So we've closed up Let me get my oil testing device ready. Put it in. Get it ready for testing. Let's put it on. Make sure we have 1 and 10 flashing. We've got 1 and 10 flashing. Now let's go get the sample. So again, you can see how much oil I've taken a bit too much, but that's okay. Let's put it on the device and test the oil. So, if you can see it, now let's test the oil. Still a 1. It's still brand new. Still good oil. This is 4, 5 months, 5, 6 months down, and I get the exact time. But if you multiply that, used on a daily basis, for 6 to 8 hours, I think this oil has done pretty well. It hasn't gone down. Now, literally, I haven't even touched the generator. You can tell because you can look at my terminal. I normally will clean this thing off. This was one of the batteries that I had. This generator comes with its own battery. They're completely useless. They only last about 5 or 6 months, after which they lose their water and the cells just kind of calcify. So I've always used a car battery. I get a car battery that's been scrapped. So this was taken out of, being gotten rid of by one of my cars about 3, 4 years ago. So actually about 2, 3 years ago. And it's been working ever since. It won't start a car, but it starts this generator happily. And it's been working ever since. Charging system charges it. And that's it. Well, and that's it for this video. As you can see, it's still a number 1. So thank you and goodbye.